to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Hodge here. Mr. Verdine here. Mrs. Wilson here. Mrs. Jeffersack. Parkman is here. Good news report.
So we'd like to start our good news this evening with our elementary school.
So, our first thing on here was our Ride to Regulate update, and to tell you our bikes have officially arrived. They're all put together, and you got to see them. So we're excited to see, kind of what's going to happen. We're going to collect some data and see, really like what the trends are and what the feedback is from the students. So we'll let you know how that goes. Last night was our back to school open house, and we had a great turnout. To our open house, we had our first PTO meeting. Both the students and the parents were full of energy and excitement. It's always fun though, like to see everybody come back, and then and like when we ended the school year, we're looking like this, and then we're looking like this, because they grew so much over the summer. So it's great to see everybody back in the building and have the energy levels so much higher. The building was way too empty the last 3 weeks, but we're thankful for everyone's support in getting everybody back to school. We had just a lot of generous people who have helped out our students with just different gifts. St. Vincent de Paul brought in some things to help our students out. Westville Build had a very large donation of school supplies for our kids. And Allison Young and she has the Not Your Grandmother's Quilting that she does the bazaars. And she's doing a bazaar up at the fairgrounds in September. And some of those proceeds she used to get some backpacks for kids. So she brought a number of backpacks over for some of our students, which was very, very generous of her. So we're very thankful for that. And then this year, as we kick off the school year with our new reading program that we adopted, our school-wide goal is to improve our reading and writing. And so we're also kind of making it fun. We're doing a school-wide project-based learning young authors project and event. And so we have scheduled an author to come and visit our students in January. And at that time, that night will be a big celebration because from now until January, they're going to be working on writing their own book. So each student will write their own book and kind of go through the process until January. So that will be a lot of fun to do. So our theme for this year is kindness lifts us and literacy leads us. So we're going to be all about the reading and writing and really improving that this year. So that's kind of an update from the elementary.
Thank you. And from our secondary, I know Mrs. Schnick was unable to be here, but we did have Mrs. Klein who wanted to speak to the board, and I thought this would be a great time during our high school secondary good news report.
Yeah, I don't have to stand up, but I was just coming to say a quick thank you to Alyssa and the admin team who awarded me the Middle School High School Teacher of the Year award for this school year. Everyone in the education field, we're not here for recognition. However, I've taught for 15 years. This is my 5th year at Westville, and it really, really meant a lot to me. I choose to teach here. I believe in the district's mission of inspire, challenge, educate. I try to do that not only as a teacher, staff member, as a parent, as a community member. It's my goal to do that. So I'm super happy to be here. I grew up a Westville or a Lake Central Indian, but I'm proud to bleed black and orange like Alyssa put in my recommendation letter. So my award will proudly be displayed in my classroom. I consider it an honor, and I just wanted to say thank you.
So that does conclude the good news report this evening.
And we appreciate everything that you do, and it was well deserved. So thank you for being here and helping our students. Any community input? We signed up. Superintendent's report.
So this evening, I know obviously it's the first day of school, so we had a lot of things going on. Last night, again, I would like to echo what Mrs. Dettering said. Our open house was well attended. In fact, so well attended that we definitely are going to be splitting those in the future years to make sure that secondary are not on the same night. I know Mr. Verdine was here, and probably when he came, there was only one entrance into our lot. We did have an accident because so many people were here, and there was some vendors that we had to police out. So so many people in the hallways. It was great having so many people. We also tried a new layout for our middle school, and I know Jackie was able to travel with her students, and they were able to go through the actual schedules for our middle school kids. We thought it was a really good transition just to allow our parents to see, here's what the middle school is looking like, here's how your child is going to move through the classes. They were able to try out lockers, but then also a little extra time with our teachers, both secondary and middle school, high school and middle school, just sharing, here's what is going to happen in this class. I know some of our parents, and Jackie can probably put it even better, that her husband's ready to go back to high school.
Yeah, he's ready to join biology and the biomedical. He's ready for those classes, so.
It was just a great
Yeah.
atmosphere for our students to get back in and try everything out, but also for our parents to see this is what's going on at the school, both elementary all the way through. So it was a great event. We are still running numbers and doing checks, making sure students that have or have not yet come to school and whatnot, but our enrollment is looking pretty nice. Right now, just a conservative estimate, I'm right around 950, which is kind of what I've been sharing with the board for the last few weeks as a registration, which is up from last year. I think we started the year at 925. So we still have a few other students that share our services with the LaPorte County Special Education Cooperative that they yet to register. So I do believe that 950 is conservative. So we should, I think we were talking that could be upward 960 as well. So we're doing nice with the ADM. We did have some staffing changes occurring recently. We also had some changes through our PLTW engineering course, which made some shifts in our schedule. So there are some big scheduling issues that we're trying to rectify. Brianna Billups, she's been doing a great job just trying to chip away at all the issues that we've been having. But we've also had some issues, which is the first year through our registration portal process, that any new students that have come in, they're showing that they're not actually in our high school system. So Mary has to touch those students, make sure they're in the program, in the system, and then Brianna is able to build them a schedule. If we do it backwards, for whatever reason, our schedules have been disappearing. So we've had some snafus. Last night we're passing out blank pages and we're like, oh my gosh, that wasn't right. So we had a long line out her door, but we're trying to rectify them and get them all into classes pretty quick. And with a staffing change that you will notice here in a moment, we're going to do everything we can to try to either fill the spot or come up with some unique ways of navigating how can we still get our students those same opportunities, make sure if they're in a pathway using a foreign language as part of that, or the engineering process that we mentioned, we want to make sure we're still able to fill those needs for our kids so it's not affecting them when it comes to graduation. And those are the things that I definitely wanted to point out. There was one other thing that I did mention to the board in some of our notes, but last week at one of our admin meeting, it was brought up about perf again, and I didn't want them to not have that brought up to the board, so we definitely shared it in our weekly, and I just wanted to make sure we were providing all the information. So we will probably try to bring a recommendation to the board, but we wanted to give all the information so we could kind of make some discussions and have what can we do best for our classified employees as well. So I know she's not here to speak on it. She kind of made that comment that she was planning to, so I didn't want anybody to be blindsided that something's being discussed and the board wasn't aware. So, and that does conclude our superintendent's report for the day.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Obviously, you said enrollment's about 950. How is that going to affect as far as the building, students having space?
We've been at 970 before, and actually it's kind of worked out. We have a few grade levels that are packed. I think fifth grade would be our number one grade level that is at capacity. Otherwise, it's kind of fell in line pretty well, where I think our smallest might be our first grade, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And other than that, everybody's right around the 70 mark, but it's pretty well established and spread out. I think in the secondary, it's our eighth grade. That is probably our top class.
Thank you.
One more comment, unrelated to that. With the schedules and the adjustments that Ms. Phillips is doing a fabulous job on. Great feedback. I think I heard a student say she's vibing. I don't really know what that means, but I think
That's a good And I know I've talked to Mark about this as well. She's rivaling me for the time she's putting in our building. So I walked in, I was like, oh my gosh, you're still here? I like you already. No. She was here with her family. We made sure that the hoops were down for her kids to shoot basketballs. Well, she's still up there. She's in there tonight. She's knocking away at the schedules and just doing whatever she can. I think one night she pulled an all-nighter working from home, just typing in. I said that you're going to take some time for yourself as well.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping she feels supported and just feels like she's doing a great job for us, and we want to keep her around and doing her thing.
Especially with those last minute adjustments, but I imagine those adjustments will happen hopefully over the next week or two.
That our hope is sooner than that.
Yeah. After that, do we have a priority to look at senior so that we can make sure if there's any adjustments that we need to make, we can do that so that there's an audit on every single one of them that needs to
Absolutely.
graduate?
And she started that already with some of our seniors because she had a few that she found that they needed a fine arts credit.
Sure.
And the student and her have already made sure that was in their schedule, so they're on the
Just
right
want to set them up for success and
Absolutely.
sooner than later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up would be a solar update.
So we've had, last month, we talked about a few of the issues that we had going on with our solar panel. The inverter that caught fire in the back, they've been working on that to try to get everything fixed. We're still working with the warranty with Fronius, and our electrician Jurgens has been out to work on that fixture. The other piece that's happened with our solar panel through this time is we've been working with our roofing company, with Tremco, and they came to roof one, which is the roof that's over the 4th through 6th grade hallway. To patch that roof, they were having to lift up solar panels and whatnot to get under to make good patches. So we've shut down the power collection on roof one to make sure it was safe. We've yet to turn it on, and we were waiting until we had a good rain to make sure that the roof was actually fixed. We didn't want to pay Jurgens to come back and forth to turn it on and turn it off again and whatnot. So with the last rain, we believe that roof is ready to go, and we've asked Jurgens to come back out and get us re-energized so we can collect as much as possible. NIPSCO kind of threw us another loop again. We had our bill came, and the bill was dated on the 7th of August, and it showed a pretty good small amount, which means they didn't read our meter again, is what my take on it was. Didn't read our meter, and it also showed that we didn't have any collection. And in talking with Chris and with Rob, we were collecting all up until last week. And so over the weekend, and then on Monday when we looked at it again, that's when we noticed that it's not. So we called NIPSCO immediately. I've had a conversation with Paul from NIPSCO, who was the engineer that came out. He originally said that it was the line that was running from the actual NIPSCO reading box, the meter reader or whatever, to the radio pole that signals NIPSCO when we have collection. He is coming out to reestablish, is that again what's caused? Is there another issue going on with NIPSCO? They did, since that time, they did say when we called them that, oh, no, we read your meter. So they've adjusted the bill, they've sent us a good bill, and it shows that we were, I think, less than 25% energy made here from what we were consuming. So last month wasn't a good month. Could be because we've had a good chunk of our system down for a while, but at the same time, we're looking at the consumptions that we've used. We're looking at the issues that we're facing with our solar panels, but we have a lot to work on with NIPSCO just to see why are we down again.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have the approval of the July 24th school board minutes. Any changes need to be made to those?
I'll make a motion to approve the school board minutes from July 24th, 2025.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Hodge, seconded by Mr. Burdine to approve the July 24th school board minutes. Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Personnel.
We have a number of resignations and recommendations to push before the board tonight. We do want to point out a few individuals that were able to show up for our meeting. First of all, we have Mrs. Klazensky, who with our changeover in the cafeteria, we were able to revamp how we're going to run our kitchen staff. And Mrs. Klazensky's been here a number of years, and she's put her time in working as our kitchen manager. She knows the back end of the system, and she's been our go-to for the kitchen. So we knew going into this, looking for a new staff member to become our kitchen coordinator, she was the one that I was thinking of. I was glad she jumped in and put her name in for that position. So we'd like to recommend that Mrs. Klazensky be our food service coordinator. We also have a number of other individuals that have helped us out many times before. Mrs. Hogan, Ms. Fitzmaurice, Mrs. Payton, Mrs. Heisig. We have a lot of people that are wanting to come back to our school corporation we want to recognize. The other individual that I'd like to introduce tonight is Mrs. Abby Kramer. If you want to stand up for us, Abby, and we'll talk a little bit about you. Abby was one of our candidates that came in for our assistant principal. She comes to us from the LaPorte County School Corporation. She's been an elementary teacher over at, correct me if anything I say is wrong, Indian Trail. I believe she might have been in my class at one point when she was here at Purdue learning to become a teacher, which makes me feel a little old. But she's also was one of the individuals that would be called on from her elementary school with the principals out. She was the liaison and took over the building in a moment's notice whenever needed for that. Then she transitioned to Kessling as one of their teachers there and as part of the SEL team and did a lot of great things at Kessling. We couldn't pass her up when we were looking at candidates at who could fill the role, be a great support for Mrs. Schnick. And just the first few days watching the two of them together, they've been inseparable. They've been knocking things out, taking care of things at the secondary end. It's been really nice having her. I just want to make sure if you'd like to say anything to the board, but again, we'd like to recommend her for the position of assistant principal.
I'm really excited for this opportunity, and I mentioned to Brian when he called to offer me the job that it was just so refreshing to be in a room with so many genuinely friendly faces and people that are just so excited, and it just makes me really excited to be a part of this community.
Well, welcome. We're happy to have you, and you will be well cared for in here. I see you have some people with you, though.
I do. This is my husband Adam and my twins Crew and Kellen. They're 8 going into 3rd grade.
Well, welcome. Nice to meet you.
I overheard the phone call, and she said yes before we even made a salary offer. So I told Brian it's a volunteer position now, and he's like, "No, we gotta pay her."
Really nice.
She just said yes.
I said we were going to be really nice to her.
Let the record show that did
Wow. Chris, you're sounding like this guy.
I have to, right? Yeah.
We have already heard great things, and so we appreciate your time, your effort so far, and good luck.
Thank you.
We know it'll be good for you and for us.
Thank you very much. I'm excited.
Any more discussion on the resignations or the recommendations?
I'll make a motion to approve the personnel as presented.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mrs. Jedrzak, seconded by Mrs. Wilson to approve personnel as presented. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Any professional leave requests tonight?
Yeah.
All right. Donations?
We did have a donation. I did bring this before the board last month, but we wanted to make it official now that we have the pieces and we're starting to put those in. We had a wonderful donation by Mr. Scott Tippy. He's, I'm not for sure if he's the owner of the wheelchair shop, but he's definitely been there for a while, and he donated the wheelchair that we're using as our backup lift in case something goes down in the gym. But then recently he wanted to know if there was anything else that the school could use. We talked about just ADA compliance and making sure that we have, anytime we can change up our school for the better, make it more accessible for all. So we are making sure that as we change out the water faucets in all of our restrooms, they're going to have the touchless automatic water faucets that you can just put your hands under and they'll have. So Rob is working on changing those out as often as he can. And whenever we have one that goes down or when the room needs to be fixed, he's just going to fix them all. We just do need to bring in the water and hot water regulator to mesh them together, and then we'll be able to get those installed. He's willing to donate 50 of them. We have 30 in stock already, and the other 20 were back ordered where he was, I think, getting them from Amazon. So, but he's been great to work with and a great parent for us. And we definitely thank him for his support.
Anybody have any problem with accepting that donation? Yeah, I'd love to make a motion to accept that donation.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Parkman, seconded by Mr. Hodge to approve the donation of the automated bathroom faucets. Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Approval of the Abby Kramer contract. Now, based on what Chris just said, can we look at this again or?
We could reevaluate it.
You'll be invited.
All right, I'll see myself.
Agreed. And on that note, I will make a motion to approve the contract for Abby Kramer.
Who seconded that? Bill. Thank you. Motion made by Mrs. Jedrzak, seconded by Mr. Burdine to approve the Abby Kramer contract. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Approval of proposal to combine maintenance technician 1 position and facilities coordinator position to maintenance coordinator position with new job description.
So back in June, we had a resignation of our maintenance facilitator at the time, and we used that as an opportunity to look at, can we bring in possibly another maintenance tech, which was one of our approvals this evening, and get more people that are hands-on on the job, but we still needed someone that's going to coordinate with vendors, work with our contractors. And to be honest, we used the month of June and July just to work with Mr. Cole. And he's been great. He's been on top of everything. He's been contacting all of our vendors, and he's been a really good person to work with for us, just keeping the facility looking good. He's taking care of all of our summer projects, took over where everything was left, and been really comfortable with everything that he's been doing for us. And I'd like to make the motion to or make the recommendation to the board, sorry, that we combine this description and to fill those extra responsibilities that were being previously held by 2 individuals.
Any discussion on that?
Makes sense.
Yeah, it does, and it seems like he's doing a good job too. So,
I'll make a motion to approve the proposal to combine the maintenance tech 1 and the facilities coordinator into a maintenance coordinator position.
I'll second it. Motion was made by Mrs. Jedrzak, seconded by Mr. Parkman. Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Approval of Neola update 32.7 and the July 2025 special update.
So this, we brought this before the board last month for the introductory reading. I did make a motion, or stop making motions. But I did make the recommendation that a few of the proposals in the Neola policies for 37.2 were actually going to be redundant and brought up in the July. So I asked that those be rejected, and then we would use the newest update, which was from the July. So those were the only pieces that I wanted to make sure I brought to the board's attention.
So we're just going to approve it exactly as it's written here.
Yes.
Okay. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Parkman, seconded by Mr. Hodge to approve the Neola update 32.7 and the July 2025 special update. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Approval of disposal of inoperable kitchen equipment.
So we'd like to request approval with anything that comes from federal funds. We do have to make sure the board is the one to grant the permission for us to dispose of the kitchen equipment that's not being used or it's inoperable. Sarah can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think our tilt skillet was from the late 70s.
Yeah.
And it's no longer able to find parts, and we can't get that one repaired. And our blast chiller is no longer useful for the kitchen staff. So we have 2 pieces that we'd like to dispose of.
I'll make a motion to approve the disposal of the inoperable kitchen equipment as presented.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mrs. Jedrzak, seconded by Mrs. Wilson. The approval of disposal of the inoperable kitchen equipment. Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Financials. Any questions about the financials that were presented? I had one when I was looking over the bills, and I know it wasn't that big of a deal, but I can't remember what that was.
We'll be able to pay her. Don't worry.
It wasn't bad.
Listen, guys, this guy.
We'll talk after.
All right, not make a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the financials as presented.
Thank you. I'll second it. Motion made by Mr. Hodge, seconded by Mr. Parkman to approve the financials as presented. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Do we have any correspondence tonight?
We do. We have a thank you letter from Brian and family. It says, "Dear members of the board and the corporation staff, I truly appreciate the beautiful flower arrangement you sent in memory of my father. Your thoughtfulness and support has brought comfort to me and my family during this difficult time. It means a great deal to me, or to us, to know I work with such caring individuals, Brian and family."
Sorry for my writing.
It's okay. I got it.
You're a teacher, yep.
But we are sorry for the loss
Yeah.
that we've had. I think we all understand. You can, get a little bit of an idea of what you're going through, so.
Thank you.
That's everything.
Anything else to come before the board before we adjourn? Our next meeting will be on the 10th of September at 6 o'clock. Fairly quick one. Let's see, Mr. Burdine, you got a motion to?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Are you guys gonna let Brian second that one?
Never, it just goes tomorrow.
I had to make myself.
I thought you were waiting to switch them up.
I wrote myself a note. Pizza.